Yo, what is up guys and welcome, it's InfernoKun back with The Walking Dead, the final season, here with a new segment I'ma call Fan Theory Friday, where I look at your fan theories and give my opinions on them and things like that. On a Friday, of course, because, you know, Friday's pretty cool. And not every Friday, but whenever I feel the need to go ahead and do one, I'll do one on a Friday. So pretty much how I'm gonna do this is, you know, of course we're in the preseason, then after episode 1 I'll do one, after episode 2 I'll do one, and so on. For the most part. So be sure to comment down your theories in any video you want to go ahead and have one featured in this video. So before we go ahead and start, I'm gonna go ahead and scroll through some of the AMA questions that were answered on Wednesday from the creative director of the final season to give you guys a little bit of an insight on various things that were answered. So this one, he confirmed that Clementine will probably change her clothes, but there won't be any in-depth customization system, you know, to go ahead and change your hairstyle, your clothes, things like that, or the car, which is very, very weird. And they will actually have a similar stat screen to Batman. You know how they end off the episode showing you your stats with the person? They'll have that, which is definitely really awesome. Next question, confirming that Nate is not the person at the end of the Comic-Con teaser. Unfortunate, but that's what it is. Next one, we have the theme of the season actually being home instead of family, because season 1 and season 2 were kind of, you know, themed family because of, you know, season 1 Clem and Lee, and season 2 we had Kenny and Clem, things like that. So home, definitely an interesting theme to go ahead and go for. Really looking forward to that. Then we have another one pretty much saying that there will be references from the last couple seasons, which is definitely really awesome. So hopefully there will be, based upon our choices we made, that'll be really cool. Next one we have is pretty much him answering that there will be explanations on the McCarroll Ranch and why Clem didn't go to the New Richmond back to Javier. So hopefully those will be really, really great. You have one from me asking about the length of the episode and the episode in the season, saying there is no target length for the episodes, but hopefully we will be satisfied with the length for the most part. So season 2 had a target length of 90 minutes and now we have none, which is, you know, can be good or bad. Then we had the final one that, it's not really a good one, saying that there actually is a menu, you know, a detailed menu. But that's enough for those questions. Really quick little go through of those questions. On to the fan theories. Let's go ahead and start with from Assassin's Legacy, saying that he believes the boarding school will actually be destroyed at the end of episode 1. All the characters that we have right now will be the ones we'll be on the road with, and the threat will actually loot the school for goods and things like that, and then we'll have no home and that they'll be on the road. And since Clementine, hey, she lived like almost a lot of her life on the road for the most part, and that she'll have the most experience because, you know, them being in the boarding school, they were pretty much cut off from like being on the road a lot. So maybe that will be when Clementine actually has a leader role. She'll be the leader since she has the most experience being on the road and things like that. He said this will be good because problems within the group, and he believes that it'll be the best outcome here. And he doesn't think that there will be a returning character in this episode, but maybe we'll get a teaser of what we get from the next one. So, and then maybe Marlon describes the leader of the group that attacked them, and it could actually be Lily. So that's a pretty good thing. You know, me personally, I'm hoping that the boarding school doesn't get destroyed in the first episode because, you know, I want to stay there for at least an episode or 2 because the theme is home, and I want it to be a home for longer than 1 episode, you know what I mean? So hopefully that doesn't happen, but maybe like at the end of like episode 2, maybe they can go ahead and destroy it and be on the road. I'd be okay with that. So that isn't a bad theory. It definitely sounds really cool, and I'm liking the aspects of it, like the whole attacking thing and maybe even the enemy group being under Lily's control. That'd be pretty cool as well. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next fan theory we have from Christopher. Okay, so here's another one about Lily, pretty much saying that there will be, you know, bandits at the end of the first episode that will actually kill Marlon. And then of course the leader actually being Lily. So that could be a cool little aspect. Yeah, I too think that Marlon could actually die in the first episode, but as people told me that he is an important character throughout the final season. So hopefully it will be determined that, you know, Marlon can actually die maybe like in the first episode, but he can actually live it. We'll see about that, but he should actually be an important character in the season. And I'm not sure what we can actually kind of theorize on what's going to happen to him because of that little dot there. So hey, I'm still hoping for Lily to go ahead and be the leader. That could actually bring up some very, very bad things between Clementine and Lily. And it will be kind of similar to the whole New Frontier thing where we had David be the leader of the group that actually killed his daughter. That could be, too similar, but we'll see about that. Next theory coming from Gamer Percy 456, saying that he has a theory that, the boarding school will be running out of supplies and food, and that Marlon could not be the leader we think he is. He could run the same way as the New Frontier, maybe on how they ruin other communities to get supplies. Could be a possible dark secret that nobody knows, which could lead to one of the groups to maybe attack the boarding school. This one is cool on paper, but, I think copying an aspect of a different season is not originality. It's not cool. Everyone thinks that Clementine's going to die the same way as Lee does, and that's not that would be actually so stupid. So I think that they should go ahead and do original stuff. Don't copy what you did in the last season. It does sound cool. It was cool whenever Joan kind of did that, but doing it again would be oh well, it's the exact same thing, same story, different season, and I don't really like it, to be honest. I think that would kind of ruin the whole premise of what they're going for here, because having the boarding school actually be evil, that could be good. It could be good, but having it be the same way of the New Frontier would kind of just have it be repeating the same thing there, and I really, really, really don't want that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one we have coming from Phoebe Markham, saying that they said Marlon would be an important character in this season. How is he important if they kill him off in the first episode? Now, I see what you mean. That's just the devs talking way too much, saying that they're important characters. And it's kind of tricky because, they can be important, but they can actually die in the first episode. He can actually make a big impact in the first episode and then die. Anything's possible for the most part. But I see what you mean. Not sure what they plan to do with Marlon, but hopefully he will actually, it'll be surprising what happens to him. It might not be in the first episode, but it could possibly be in the second episode or the third episode. We'll see about that. Not entirely sure how important he is, but, at some point, Clementine, due to her experience on the road and her experience in the apocalypse, she has to assume the leader position, maybe, and to do that, Marlon will have to go ahead and let her, or he has to die. So we'll see what they do with that. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully we will be surprised on what happens. That'd be pretty cool. Coming from Harold, saying that Clem and AJ were surviving at the side of a river stream. Then Clem noticed that they were lacking out of food, so she decided to go ahead and move into a new area to survive on. And when they get to the train station, they check the area out, see if it's clear. When they see a walker, she grabs a survival knife, and after killing the walker, more of them kept appearing. Clem and AJ got separated. A while later, she found AJ, seeing that entered inside the boarding school. That's all for now. Bonus. Been thinking that Clem will tell AJ about the train at her time at season 1. So, hey man, if you've seen that gameplay, that's relatively really, really close. Kind of what happened there. Except, the whole thing at the end that was a little bit different. But hey, spot on theory right here. This was 2 weeks ago. So I say this was a pretty accurate theory. Essentially, that was what happened pretty much, except the whole, she got separated, which wasn't really, it could have been true, but we'll see about that later on. Another one coming from a very eccentric individual, saying, I highly doubt Clementine will ever leave the boarding school. Judging by the information we've been given, the boarding school will most likely be the main focus of the entire season. Hell, my prediction for season 4's final decision is the choice between either having Clementine sacrifice herself to save the entirety of the boarding school, including AJ, or having Clementine abandon the boarding school but live. So that's a very, very, very interesting little theory there. That's kind of a big one, similar to how Life is Strange is. I wouldn't say sacrifice yourself, but sacrifice your friend, for the most part. But that'd be pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure, who would do that? It's kind of a bit of a hard thing to think about, because you're either being hey, Clementine can live on, but at the expense of everybody else dying. But, I love Clem a lot, that'd be a hard choice to go ahead and think about. Do I want the boarding school to survive, or do I want to just go ahead and have Clementine live? It's a very, very daunting choice there. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but he also says that also having Marlon die towards the end of the first episode is a brilliant idea. Finally, somebody who actually agrees with me for the most part. But it will start the season off with a bang, introduce the new antagonist, and provide Clementine with a good reason to rise up as being the new leader. So I agree there. Marlon, he seems very cool. His voice actor actually has the most experience out of the whole, boarding school. So maybe he's a bit more expensive. I'm not sure how, voice acting roles, pay based upon, your availability or just, experience or thing like that. But, definitely Marlon seems really, really cool so far. And part of me hopes that he does die, but part of me hopes that he doesn't die, because he seems like he's going to be really, really cool. And I want him to go ahead and live on for a while. Or maybe even just pass the role on to Clementine without dying. That'd be pretty cool. But hopefully whatever happens will be pretty cool. Next theory we have coming from James. This one's a big one, so I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it and break it down. So he says Krysta is going to be the main villain of season 4. Already starting off pretty different there. The reason why he says that it wouldn't really make sense to go ahead and bring her back as a friendly character, because Krysta blames Clem for Omid's death, and she lost Omid and her child as well. So that could be why Krysta goes ahead and becomes evil. Very, very cool explanation there. I like that. Then he goes and says that the adult faction actually erased the boarding school, and their leader could be Krysta. Okay, and then of course he says that Krysta could actually become attached to AJ because of how he is a child, and kind of could be seen as, man, I miss my child. I'll replace him with AJ, I guess, but we'll see about that. Then he says that Krysta believes that taking supplies from other groups is what's best to go ahead and survive. Clementine disagrees, and that could actually spawn a conflict of interest between Clementine and Krysta. Then that leads them to basically try to escape, and then Krysta ends up chasing after Clementine and kidnaps AJ. So that's very, very similar to, I'll get to that afterwards. But then he says that as Clementine searches for AJ, she gets bitten, and she ends up kind of while she's bitten, hunting for AJ, possibly finding him, and could die trying to save AJ. And he's comparing it to how Lee started off in handcuffs and how he ended in handcuffs, and that whenever Clementine finds AJ, he'll be in a treehouse, similar to how Clementine started off in that treehouse for the most part. So as a different thing, he said that Clem or AJ could possibly die, because having Clem die could be oh, next season we'll have AJ. Okay, we'll see about that. But as I was saying about before, the whole Krysta hunting down Clementine and AJ, that's similar to the whole Carver hunting down Rebecca and all of them. Very, very similar to that. And then the whole Clementine getting bit while hunting for clues is very, very similar to Lee hunting for Clementine and clues. Then he gets bitten, and it's very, very similar. Lee dies trying to save Clementine. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm not a fan of repeating things just for, oh, it's cool, similar, hey, callback. No, I really don't like that. It's cool to have callbacks, like how, the key art was Clementine holding the axe, similar to how Lee and Clem was. That's some cool callbacks. But when your whole ending is the exactly same as the ending for the first season, that is not a callback. That is doing the exact same thing. That ruins the suspense, and it's already been done before. So why would you do it again? I really don't want that. If the final season actually ends the exact same way as season 1, that would be highly disappointing. That would be the exact same ending. There has to be some originality there in the writing to make it completely different and actually be surprising. That's what I think about that. But for the most part, I do like how you say that Krysta could actually be the villain instead of Lily. Very, very interesting thought to think about there. Quick one coming from Levi Ackerman saying that he doesn't get why people are saying that Lily is the antagonist. Whenever Clementine interacted with Lily, she was nothing but nice to Clem, and she was back to her as well. So definitely, I agree there. I agree there. You know, it isn't going to be like, the way I see it is that it isn't going to be like, oh, Clementine, you are evil to me, I hate you. No, I think it's going to be like some kind of unforeseen events that just unfortunately come to that point. She isn't going to turn evil because of Clementine. She's more just like evil because she was already evil, and Clementine happened to just be on the wrong end of things. For example, if she goes ahead and attacks the boarding school and she sees Clementine, she'd be like, oh shit, what did I just do there? You know, Clementine was pretty cool. And that could actually spawn some different things. And I get what you mean. It could be a bit too similar to A New Frontier, where the New Frontier were attacking, and then they're like, oh shit, that's my brother. He's the leader, or he's the semi-leader. Wow, what have I done? It could be a bit too similar, but we'll have to see about where they want to go with that if that happens. I see what you mean. You know, Lily definitely never really had a grudge with Clementine, therefore it could be a bit too similar to A New Frontier. So maybe it isn't the best course of action unless she completely, like, you know, went batshit crazy and believes that, oh, Clementine, you know, you were cool, but, you know, I'm sorry, you know, this is how things are now. It could be like that. I'm not totally sure, but okay. So that's all I have time for at the moment. So that was pretty productive. Lots of things that were, you know, pretty much just theorized that were pretty cool, and you know, maybe go ahead and think about things a different way. Been a pretty productive thing, and go ahead and look through you guys' theories. Definitely really awesome to go ahead and see that. So be sure to comment down below if you have any additional theories that I could possibly feature in the next time I do my whole Fan Theory Friday. For the most part, looking like it's going to be a pretty cool staple thing to go ahead and do for the channel, or maybe even do like after, you know, episode 1 comes out, we could do fan theories then, and then when the teaser and stuff drops for that, we could do one then as well. We shall see. You know, I'm going to be experimenting on these kind of things, go ahead and see how I want to do it for the most part. So thank you all for watching. If you guys haven't, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on the channel. I'm InfernoKun, and I will catch you guys next time on The Walking Dead.